welcome to episode 95 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Darby Hallman.
I am Jeff Mayo.
And Jeffrey, I really wish that I could just talk to you about in-game for an hour and a half, but I guess we gotta talk about some video games. Such a pain. Yeah, we did just see in-game, and no spoilers, but hoo boy. That was a movie.
Stuff happened.
That was a thing. So we will be doing a spoiler cast on that. I'm not exactly sure when, but we're going to try to get Will on here because of course, we have to have the man himself. I think his first episode on this podcast was like episode 3, and we're like, yeah, let's talk about Marvel stuff because he is just the superhero guy. Mm-hmm. So it comes full circle. So look forward to that on the Nerds at Large Spoilercast podcast feed, where the same place you can also find our Game of Thrones spoilercast, because we have, like, probably what it seems like is going to be, like, one of the most climactic Game of Thrones episodes also today. In the same day, we have Endgame and the Battle of Winterfell. Yep. It's going to be... boy, it's going to be crazy.
Tired after all this, Darby.
I know. I feel exhausted just from... I feel like I fought Thanos, you know?
Yeah.
I feel worn out after all that. That was crazy. But... yeah, we'll save the Avengers discussion for other things. We might have a brief discussion at the end of this podcast if we have time, just to get some off of our chest while it's fresh. But first, Jeff, let's talk about some video games.
Do you like video games?
This week, my current game of the year came out.
Well,
Out of the two, Mortal Kombat 11. This is a pretty good game, Jeff. I have put like about 10 hours. I think it keeps track of your like playtime. Mm-hmm. So that's mostly been doing like classic towers, fighting computers, and I've recently started going online. I've played over half of the story. Honestly, I don't think the story is that great. I mean, it's like a dumb Mortal Kombat story, but it's not dumb enough. Yeah. It's like a little too serious, but it's not good serious. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like it's okay. Mm-hmm. But I'm also someone who also thinks that the Injustice story is okay when everyone else thinks it's amazing. So, you know, maybe other people enjoy it. You might enjoy it more. I think it's okay. But the actual mechanics of the game, the little things they've changed, and the new characters and kind of the way they've changed some of the existing characters, I think is super cool. You know, I think I'm really enjoying it. I feel like the combos and just everything I do in this game, I feel like flows together better than it ever has. And I feel like I'm better at this game than I have been at other Mortal Kombats. Not sure how much of that is just me personally or the game changing, but it's really cool.
Indeed. My copy's still in the package.
You still haven't taken it out?
Nah, I guess people know I may not be playing as many games because I got a job, blah, blah, blah. So, between that, starting that, and concerts this week, haven't had much time to do it. And yeah.
But you played a little bit with us the other night.
I did. That's all I did. I sucked.
You got some wins. You started getting the collector pretty good.
Yeah.
But did you enjoy what you played?
Indeed. A lot of fun. Crazy fatalities.
Yes, they have to one-up each other every single game, it feels like. And there are some crazy ones.
I don't think what character. I kind of jumped around, so I don't really exactly have a main. I like the collector. Citrian was good.
I like her. She has some good range. You didn't play Johnny that much.
Again, I was jumping around, so I didn't.
No.
I mean, yeah. Other than the collector, because I wanted to do the whole regular windscreen. I used Johnny as much as anyone else. I didn't use anyone more than twice, so.
Yeah. That's, and I with these type of games, I have picked Noob and Jade are the two that I'm maining, and it's like I can mess around with some other ones, but like with all the different combos, like at least my brain cannot memorize more than two characters worth, and it's already like I don't have all of Noob's. I have all of Jade's memorized, pretty much all the normal combos. I have like 2/3 of Noob's, but then after that it's like I can't I can't keep all this in my mind. So I have like Cetrion, I'll just like play every now and then just to mix it up, but I can only have like 2 serious characters at a time. That's it. And unfortunately Katana, I'm just not doing it.
Shame.
She has like 5 or 6 step combos, and Jeff, that's just Too much for me.
Too much. At least you still have a lady ninja in your main.
I do. Yeah, Noob's the best lady ninja there
exactly.
is. Yeah. But I am so far, again, I was so stoked for Mortal Kombat. It is lived up to the hype. I do think we kind of be remiss not to talk about some of really the biggest problem with Mortal Kombat 11, and this is something that apparently they're trying to fix. So this all might change, but right now the unlocking system for like unlocking skins and fatalities and brutalities and everything else kind of sucks because it's just a massive grind to get the currency to do anything. And they have the crypt again, but it used to be at least you could look up online and figure out like where what you want is in the crypt. It's all pretty much random now. Yeah. There's only a handful there, so it's all pretty much completely randomized. And just the rate that you're getting coins and how much stuff costs is just very off. Like playing 10 hours, I've gotten like 2 skins. And even if the currency was really grindy like that, if I could save up and be like, I'm going to buy this Jade skin, that would make it a lot better. Like in Overwatch, the skins are expensive, but at least I can target a skin and buy that. Can't really do that in this game. It's all random. So really it hasn't lived up to like when they were talking to trailers and they're like, you can custom, you can have your character look exactly how you want. And you can express yourself with the characters. It's like, sure, I can do that after I've played the game for 50 hours.
Darby, just 50 hours?
I know, yeah.
Or pay like $600 or some crap.
Yeah, or pay a shit ton of microtransactions.
Yep.
Which is unfortunately, like X got a little bit more of that. There was some microtransaction, but it wasn't that intrusive. But then now it feels like they're just really wanting you to get frustrated enough that you pull out your credit card, which is a bummer.
Indeed.
Especially with how much, like, to buy all the DLC characters, I think you're going to have to end up spending an extra $40 or $50 or whatever it is.
Sounds about right.
I think.
If they do the whole 9-character thing.
Yeah. So they will nickel and dime you. I mean, that stuff, for me, it hasn't really detracted from the core gameplay, which is what I'm most interested in, but it's still a bummer. Because, like, I look at, like, Jade's zombie skin. I don't really like the zombies. It's like, I wish I could just have at
normal
least
Jade.
1 or 2, like, normal skins. Or I felt like I was just getting back enough that for what I was putting in. But you also, like, in the crypt, you can unlock so many small, dumb little things, like icons for your movesets.
Oh no, yeah. When I looked at Katana was definitely bad because when we were creating our custom characters so we could play some, all but 2, and I don't know how many were on each tab, and there are 3 tabs. Yeah. And the only thing different each tab are the color of the icon, but only 2 of the first color were unlocked. It was like, well, that's gonna be a lot of the unlockables.
Yep.
Because there's literally hundreds.
It's just not even remotely important or cool in any way. It's something you literally just see in the menu screen for a second.
Or you see at the corner, but no, that's...
That's
like not to defend it, but it's there.
And it just sucks going into the crypt and spending like 12,000 coins on something and then just getting an easy fatality and then something else. I'm like, okay, all right. This is.
There's like 4 kinds of currency or some shit.
Yeah, and I think one that you get just from doing like fatalities.
Yep. So you have to win and do the fatalities, and when we're doing, local co-op, that means it has to be the first player has to get it for it to really matter as far as someone actually getting something out of it.
Yeah. And, like, the fatalities are fun, but I'm someone online, especially if I'm playing, like, a series of matches with someone. If I win, I usually don't do the fatality. I'm like, let's just move on. We've all seen it. We've all seen it 1,000 times. You don't need to see it again. But it does kind of suck.
No, they need to know that they failed.
It is an interesting thing that Mortal Kombat is pretty much built around a mechanic that's literally just basically taunting your opponent for losing. And that's, like...
No, Darby, to do that, you do mercy.
That's the ultimate disrespect. Complete disrespect.
Yeah.
Which I have had someone online do mercy to me and then beat me again. It feels bad. It does feel very bad.
Feels bad, man.
It feels pretty bad. Is there anything else? I guess just the one other thing is just the kind of new thing in this game is you can completely build your own variation of every single character. And there's everyone comes with 2 variations, but there's multiple moves that aren't even in either of those. So basically, every single character you can do a lot of different customizing, and I've kind of like as I've gone through, I've changed it some. Like at first with Jade, like I realized there was one move that I just really wasn't using that much, so I went back into her move pool, move pool, and I saw there was one move that it just unlocks 4 new combos. So I'm like, oh yeah. So I took off the special move I wasn't using very much, put that on there, and yeah, it's completely opened up a whole new thing. So I think that stuff's super cool.
Yeah, at least unlike in Injustice 2, they didn't unlock those kind of moves to, skins or parts or whatever.
Yeah, as far as I know, none of that is in the crypt. Like, all of that you just have immediately, which that would be stupid.
Yeah.
That would be really stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only other thing is local co-op. It's a little bit of a pain with the variations, but
yeah,
it's doable. So, Mortal Kombat, thumbs up from nerds at large. Well, Jeff, another game that I think you're going to be saying thumbs up to, it's Katana Zero.
Indeed. And I'm just going to put this here. I take up a news slot. Katana Zero, some sales news. Sold over 100,000 copies. That's pretty good.
That is very good. And that was just in like a few days, pretty much, or a week. Like
about a week
or something. Yeah. Yeah, for especially a game of that size, like it's on pace to make like 500,000 in a month. That's good.
Indeed. So yeah, Katana Zero, for people who don't know, a little side-scrolling action-y game where you're a samurai who can slow down time, and it's like Hotline Miami where everyone dies in one hit, including you. And the way it does things is, or the way it works is, when you're going through the level, it's you planning out your move or how you're gonna get through it, and then once you complete it, your character is okay. That's how I'll do it, and then you see a replay of how you do it.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's neat.
Yeah,
neat. Yeah. So there's all. I guess I want to hear about the actual mechanics, like the gameplay and stuff, how that feels, the abilities and all that. And I'm interested to hear someone who's like played it that I can talk to and ask questions about the story part of that. 'Cause that seems like something that maybe separates this game from other ones. But
indeed, yeah. Mechanics are fun. Like I said, one hit, one kill for both you and your enemies. All you have is your trusty katana. Although you can pick up objects and throw them at people, which is always fun.
Always fun thing.
Yeah, there was one place where it's like there are these whole bunch of enemies that normally you could probably do it, but it'd be difficult to try to kill them all without getting hit. But at the end of the hallway, there's a room with a bunch of beer bottles, so you just go in there and just continuously chuck them at them.
Nice.
And they all die. So yeah, like I said, there's a thing you use to slow down time. Main reason to do this for the most part is with your katana, you can deflect bullets back at people. So you can better time that. And you also have a little slide dash thing where, go fast, and that's how you get through like lasers that are coming from the ceiling and everything. Try to avoid those.
Yeah. So is this more like it's more combat focused than it is like difficult platforming focused?
Yeah.
Like
really much. Yeah, platforming. A little bit of stealth in one level.
Interesting.
Yep.
I don't think about stealth when I think about like 2D fighters like that.
Yep. Well, it can be stealth if you want it to, which kind of gets to the whole kind of the story thing, and choices and all that stuff. I'm not done with the game, so I don't know how much this stuff matters, or I have to maybe replay again to see how much stuff matters. But yeah, there's a good bit of dialogue in this game. The way the levels are set up is, each level is kind of a day, or it's your guy's an assassin or whatever doing jobs or whatever, and each night he goes out and does a job. In the morning he wakes up and he goes see what's pretty much a psychiatrist, but also kind of I guess his handler, which gives him the jobs. So and every single
psychiatrist is telling him to go murder people,
pretty much. And he gives him drugs for the time stuff.
Nice, dude. Nice.
Yeah, gives him the good stuff. So in about pretty much every conversation, there are speech, text choices so you can pick what to say. There's pretty much always a red choice that you can pretty much you be an asshole / ending the conversation right there. So you can make this game go a good bit faster as you pick those and pretty much skip most of the conversations. Like with the psychiatrist or whatever. You're trying to talk about a dream you're having, which goes into the I forget his name, the protagonist's past or whatever. But you can choose to tell the story and talk to him like you're a normal patient, or you can say shut up and give me the drugs. So
that's funny.
Yeah, you can do stuff like that. And as far as like potentially branching things in the levels themselves, there was one example where you were going to a hotel to do a job, and you talk to the receptionist who's asking, "Are you you staying here?" And like, yeah. It's like, what is? And she asks what's to get up because you're dressed like a samurai, and you have the option to choose cosplay.
Nice.
And it's like,
well,
where's
cosplay?
it? Of course. Yeah. And then she asks, where's it from? And you have options to do the whole like shut up thing, or actually pick what the cosplay is from. So I picked what it was from, or some made up thing. Not
yeah.
Then I go through the level. I come out, and the police are there to do it. I'm coming out, and I'm covered in blood. It's like, you samurai boy of blood, you look rather suspicious. And the reception's like, oh, he's okay, he's just a cosplayer.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I have no idea what would happen if I didn't do the whole cosplay thing, or
you get arrested. It's a completely different game.
Or the police attacks me and I have to kill them.
Yeah, that's cool though.
Yeah, there's also another level where your client, or they tell you to do the mission stealthily / make sure you don't kill anyone. You don't have to do that. Nice. You don't fail for killing everyone.
Cool. Slaughter everyone.
Yeah. And at the end, he's like, yeah, good job, but you kind of disobeyed us and killed everyone.
Did you kill everyone?
I was trying to do it stealthily. There was one part is like, this is too hard, screw it. And I was ready to go to bed. I was kind of tired and ready to get bed. It's like, screw it, kill everyone. This game's short enough, and there's a chapter select, so I'll go back and do like those stuff again. And it's one of those things, because I've done it before and know how to do the levels, because they're kind of puzzly. I'll be able to get through them a lot faster and see what's going on.
Cool.
Yeah.
How long was the game?
How long is it?
And are you done?
No, I'm not done. Okay. I'm hearing like 4 hours.
Oh, that's not bad though.
Yeah, 4 hours or something like that, and it's a $15 game.
That's cool. It definitely looks really cool. I like the aesthetic of it a whole lot.
Mm-hmm. So. Very neat. There's also this another thing where they tell you to not kill to not talk to the client. And I was a good boy and didn't talk. It's like, I'm interested to see what happens when you talk to him.
He was actually a nice dude or something. Yeah. It's like, you talk to him, you realize he shouldn't have been killed. Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah. And there's some other stuff in the story that seemed really neat, but I won't discuss that here.
Alrighty. Katana Zero.
Yeah.
Katana Zero.
Did you want to talk the next thing? I just had it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess I can talk a little bit. Did I talk about this last week?
You did, but I didn't know if that was
okay. Yeah, I just couldn't remember. I can't keep track
yes, I have something else
of when things come out. Cuphead on Switch. I actually didn't play it. Now I remember we talked about it. I haven't played too much more since then. I beat the Zeppelin boss that was giving me hell, but basically ever since Mortal Kombat came out, I haven't really played too much of it. But I still highly recommend it. As far as like, I played some of your version on Xbox. Now I'm playing. I mean, I guess I don't know. Well, I've played handheld a little bit, and obviously that's worse, but especially with a Pro Controller, it's great. This is a game I'm sure people are probably at this point more likely to have, or at least a lot of people are more likely to have Switches now than Xboxes, potentially. I mean, I don't know. But check this game out. It's super duper hard, but good God is it so rewarding when you finally beat someone. I think we came here to record. I was like, Jeff, I'm in a good mood right now, but that was probably just because I beat that dang lady before I came here. If I didn't, I don't know. Yeah. It's one hell of a game that I'm gonna be whittling away at for a long time, because it's you gotta fail many times before you get it right.
Yep.
Before you get it right.
Yep.
But yeah, Jeff. I completely forgot about this until you wrote that down. You have to talk about this. You did something weird this week.
I did something weird. Okay, so people may or may not know, On that there Nintendo Labo, there's a VR thing. And with that, you can play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on it. And I know what you're thinking. Jeff, you freaking got Labo, you bastard. And I would say, no, I did not. What I did, Darby, in a very convoluted way, I played Zelda on PlayStation VR.
What? Yeah. That's not how that works, Jeff. Did you do some illegal stuff on your computer, Jeffrey?
No, I did not.
It's all kosher?
It's all kosher. Papa Nintendo probably not happy about it, and Papa Sony, but...
Oh, Reggie's on his way here now. I know he doesn't work for him anymore, but that just frees him up.
Yeah.
He's a vigilante now. He's going to come and hunt you down.
He's now the Nintendo Ninja.
What did you do, Jeff?
So, it's kind of hard to completely explain, but apparently there's way to do all the crazy chords with the PlayStation VR and the Switch, you can make it work.
You have to use like 2 different HDMIs into the TV, right? And then there's
trying to think how exactly that. So the PlayStation has to be on at all times for this to work because reasons. 2 HDMI cables have to be plugged into the TV despite you not using it for reasons. I don't know.
Weird.
And the HDMI cables come from the back of the... I think both sides of the PSVR box.
Okay.
So like there's the regular HDMI thing in the back of the box that says to TV or whatever that you're supposed to connect TV. You do that, and in the front of the box there are 2 little slots you put in, or which are usually what you put in the 2 like splitting cables from the headset itself. One of them is an HDMI cable.
Okay.
So what you do is you plug in the one that's not an HDMI cable, and then in the HDMI slot you plug in another HDMI cable into there and plug it into the TV. So for some reason it needs to have 2 things into the TV.
We are tricking it to do something it shouldn't do. So.
Yeah, and you use the HDMI cable from the headset and plug it into the Switch dock.
Yeah.
And
so then after that you just have it on your face, which I think you said it basically like you have to switch it to VR and then do this, right?
Yeah, I mean you can still see stuff, but it's very hard to navigate when it's in regular mode. So yeah, you need to take the Switch out of the dock and put it in VR mode once you get into Zelda and put it back on and then put the headset on.
Yeah. So then after that, you're just in VR and Zelda. Right?
I'm in VR and Zelda, man.
So there are a few limitations, right?
There are a couple. Yeah, there are 100%. So I do not know exactly how this compares to Labo VR.
Right.
This is based on what I can see. It's in some ways, better, obviously, because it's not supposed to be on this machine or this setup.
Yes, but crucially, you do not have to hold the thing to your face.
That is a big plus, Darby. I do not have to hold Labo to my face at all times to play, or have to do some convoluted thing where I lay down the whole time with the machine on my face, which people are recommending me. Like, that sounds like a pain in the ass.
I would rather just not play.
Yeah. So yes, part of the limitations is you can't turn your head. I mean, you can turn your head, but it's the same screen the whole time. It doesn't. When you turn your head, it doesn't turn in the game. You got to use the R stick.
Right.
But everything is in 3D.
Yeah. So you can still, I mean, you basically have to do everything with the sticks, which is...
Yeah, and I guess there could be a way that I could fix this by going into some settings or something. I don't know. But the screen is kind of, in a way, too big as far as the area. So, like, I can't see top left of the heart containers, my hearts. So if it's really low, I can't see how many hearts I have left. You can have trouble seeing, when you go to a new area, the name pops up.
Yeah, you can't see it all though.
Yeah,
it's just like it's zoomed in a little bit.
Yeah, you're a little more zoomed in on leak, and yeah, that's the main thing. Oh, also for some reason the VR headset turns off every once in a while for some reason.
It's trying to revolt against.
Yeah.
What if it just doesn't realize it thinks you're not playing or something?
It might be something like that because it's this whole setup was weird. It's one of those things like, how did someone come up with this?
Like someone was just trying. Someone was just like plugging in all this stuff. Like nope. Nah,
but it works and it's cool. The game's obviously it's VR, so and is not a game made for VR. So, and especially since it's not made in this kind of VR, this headset.
Yeah.
It's a little blurrier than the normal game, of course.
I think this is definitely just something you basically just did to say you could, like, you saw it on Resether, right? And you're like, hey, I could do this.
I'm gonna give this shit a try. Why the hell not?
Yeah, when Jeff told me, I at first was like, Jeff, you didn't buy Labo, come on now. And then I was like, did he download something online? I was like, that seems kind of risky. Doesn't seem very like Jeff. And
Nah.
I'm like, nope. He just busted out a bunch of HDMI cords. That's really funny, and I do wonder if this is gonna end up getting patched out somehow, if it even can. Like, I don't. Obviously, we don't know. We don't know.
I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see how this can be. But we're not tech guys, so who the hell knows?
Well,
but one thing I'm going to do I'm gonna mess around. Like I haven't played it too much. Just going to a couple locations or whatever, just seeing what they all look like and stuff.
You need to jump off a mountain if you haven't already.
I did.
Okay.
Oh, that's one thing that's cool. At least, I haven't had to worry about motion sickness yet, which is cool. Something to worry about since it's a game not made for VR.
Yeah. I'll be the test of that if I ever play it, because I get sick way more.
What I think I'm gonna do, just for the hell of it, since the way Zelda works is once you beat the final boss, you just go at the point before. I might just fight Ganon in VR for the hell of it. see how that goes.
Yeah, be interesting.
Yeah. This is unfortunate. This is unfortunately something we can never do a let's play for, with seeing everything, because on the Switch screen, which is what the Elgato read, it's just two tiny. It's just two circles with Zelda, or the game screen.
Huh.
Because you're supposed to put it on your face and both eyes is looking at the screen. So
interesting. Yeah.
We can never stream your reaction to it or anything.
Yeah.
At least with the game, the
Elgato setup is already weird enough.
Yeah, I mean it's just impossible as far as I know.
Yeah, which sucks. But hey, Jeff played Zelda on his PlayStation VR.
Yep, and I tried Mario, the Super Mario Odyssey levels, but because those levels are made specifically for VR and is not just the whole game like Zelda is, it could tell it was on the dock. It was like, nope, take it out of the dock. You got to play this in handheld. I'm like, fuck you.
It's like, maybe I found the way. Like,
yeah.
Bummer.
So
all right, Jeffrey. Mm-hmm. Well, let's get into that news jingle.
Jingle.
Well, there's a hit new Scrabble game coming out, Jeff.
Yep.
We're not at that yet. Sorry. More on Scrabble later.
Yeah. So Darby, did you want to do this in two parts or just me go all the way through and then we can talk about all of it?
Maybe let's just start positive.
Okay. This is in two parts. The first part comes from Matt Burslow from IGN. Persona 5 Royal, an expanded re-release of Persona 5, will launch later this year in Japan with a Western release due in 2020. This new version, announced by developer Atlus today, features a substantial set of new additions that expand on a variety of Persona 5's features. The most significant is a new semester of school to play through, which, presumably, will add a fair few more hours of the story to the game. There's also a new addition to the Phantom Themes game, Kasumi Yoshizara. She was previously teased in the first Persona 5 The Royal Reveal and caused players to wonder if the game would add a playable female protagonist. Today's news suggests that this is not the case. She is a transfer student and appears to be a party member. It also appears that there will be a human version of Morgana, the talking cat who accompanies Persona 5's protagonist. A screenshot shows a male character with a name that translates to handsome man, who uses the term Ragahe, which was previously used by Morgana in the original game. The game has been overhauled for PS4 Pro with graphics upgraded to 4K resolution. There are also UI enhancements and quality of life changes, including a new menu dedicated to confidants and stats. Let's reveal more about Persona 5 Royal on May 9th.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've always heard about Persona 4 Golden changing Persona a lot. Adding in way more than you would think from just a simple re-release. There's the story is different because there's entirely new characters which it is kind of crazy to think if you introduce a new character, then for the rest of the game they have to be able to talk to everyone. Yep. So that's a lot of new dialogue to write.
Yep.
And obviously this is the first time I've actually been a fan for one of these. So I'm actually kind of like I've experienced the story, so now I get to look at it and be like, wow, yeah, that is a lot that you have to write in if you're going to change it, especially if she's introduced somewhat early. You know?
I feel like they got to make it worth it for her to be added in for people who are doubling,
Yeah. And it's like, especially if they make her the last one, Haru is already added way too late in this game. Like, so like I could see that being,
I saw something that made it sound like Haru is going to get more done for her.
That would be good. She's definitely
more the character development.
She's the one that needs it the most out of everyone.
Which is specifically where this whole third semester thing comes in. You just get more time with the characters and more stuff happens.
That too. Which, as someone who's already done the 100 hours of Persona 5, that sounds awesome. Because I want there to be a lot more.
And it wasn't in this. They also added a psychiatrist / doctor, school counselor character.
Oh yeah.
That, from what I read, is supposed to come after the first palace to talk to students about what happened.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool.
So, that's a brand new confidant.
Yeah, which is very cool. I mean...
So, yeah, Darby, I know you don't know much about Golden, and I'm not the expert on it, but based on what I know, this seems to be more substantial than even Golden, as far as additions, which is cool.
Very cool.
And, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds great to me, and this is coming, I think you said it, but yeah, it's coming
this year in Japan.
2020 for the West.
Yeah, it always sucks. We're getting it later, but like Darby said, adding these new characters adds a lot of new dialogue, so translation is not easy, so...
Yeah, I get. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot, and for me, 2020 sounds great because that around then is probably when I'm really gonna be itchy. Like it'll feel more new to me coming. Whereas if I played it like right now or in a few months, it'd be stuff that I pretty much just finished earlier this year. So I definitely am gonna do this because I'm not usually someone. I mean, I like replaying games, but usually way down the line, and it's because I just want to replay the normal game. Usually these type of things don't add enough to get me to go back and replay something immediately, but it sounds like this is a lot.
Yeah.
And a whole nother semester, which it's weird for me in my brain because the story, it's not like the story had giant gaps. So it's kind of weird to just I feel like you have to kind of change the story up for there to be a whole third semester.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to move events back or something, which... I don't know. It's weird. I'm interested to see how they do it. It just it's strange.
Probably means you got a couple extra palaces.
that too. Which again, I don't know how that works because all the palaces went into each other. It's not and then there was much not accounted for. It was just kind of no, it went. So I guess this is just an alternate telling almost.
Yeah.
Because things would have to end differently. And just the sheer amount of dialogue in that game, again, if you add another character, that's just a lot more to write.
Hey, and you get more confidant levels maxed out with the more time in one playthrough.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And I'll do a new playthrough and go through completely new confidants and still probably not get them all. But super cool. How about you, Jeff? Do you think you're going to just go ahead and play your version of Persona 5?
I get that itch. I'm just going to go ahead and go through it, and then I'll... Assuming I love it as much as, I have and think I'm going to, then but I'll play this more down the line. Because we talked about before, there's a kind of a... there's nothing really big, especially single-player-wise. I got coming really into Fire Emblem. So now it's just probably the right time for me to start some game of this link, whether it be this or The Witcher or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I am agree, and I think if you go ahead and knock it out now, you might around the time that Royal comes out, you might be more.
Yep. Okay, Darby wants some more negative news, and which is what part of the main reason why I said what I just said about playing Persona 5. This comes from Colin Stevens from IGN. Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Strikers, a Muso spin-off of the mainline Persona series, has been announced for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. Announced during the Persona Super Live 2019 concert via a brief Japanese trailer, Persona 5 Scramble is being created as a collaboration between Alice and Koei Tecmo's Omega Force team, known for its work on the Dynasty Warriors series. According to Persona Central, it's being labeled as the first action RPG in the Persona series. While little is known about the game, the trailer clearly shows Persona 5 Scramble as a Muso game, where Joker fights against large hordes of enemies all at once, Darby.
I think this is...
So if people don't know this, Persona 5S.
I think the world has just been too good for it to us recently with in-game, Game of Thrones, Mortal Kombat, all this. I think we were just due.
Yeah.
We were due for something bad to happen.
Yeah.
And I talked to you about this before. I think there is a lot of overreaction in the video game industry to names of things like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. And it's like we get over it after a while. This is one of the worst names I've ever seen for a game in my life.
Yeah.
Persona 5 Scramble. And also, for me personally, Muso games are probably one of my least favorite genres on Earth. And it's one of the few genres that it's like even dirt cheap, I just have zero interest in trying. Like, this could have been a bunch of different genres, and I'm like, yeah, I might give that a shot. Muso is one of the few that, like, not for me. I respect this for other people, and great, I hope they enjoy it, but definitely not something I'm interested in. How about you, Jeff? You feeling the Scramble?
You never know. I might, depending what's going on. As much as, the whole thing of all Muso games are the same, there are differences between them. Little things I can add to it. Like, really love Hyrule Warriors. I didn't play Fire Emblem Warriors, which a lot of people said were, kind of the similar quality and consider those two kind of the better ones. So, Karitema is doing, really good, it seems, with these, I guess, licensed Muso games of late.
And is this the same team?
Yeah.
Do we not make it? Okay.
Yeah, it's a Mega Force. So I'd be interested in this game. Obviously, I would want to get done with Persona 5 first. Anyway, who knows when this is coming out? But much as I enjoy them, there's too many games out now. I don't know if it's hard for me to exactly justify going into a Muso game unless I just hear there's a lot of cool things differently about it, or the story's really cool or some shit.
Yeah.
Even then, it would be a right away thing probably.
Yep. Are we both on the same page that we're starting to think Persona 5 Switch is just not going to happen?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's a Best Buy thing, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, I think if it was happening anytime soon, then why would you not have announced that this, why would you announce the Scramble before
Scramble, which is also, like I said, coming to Switch.
Yeah, which again, like, I don't know if there is just some Sony deal, but only for the mainline games. Like, they've put the spin-off games on Nintendo platforms, but the main games not. I don't know if there's some specific deal with that, or for some reason Atlas/Sega just doesn't think that it's worth it financially, which that seems crazy to me because I think this game would sell very well.
You know what, I'm thinking this is more likely to be it because I know, some people have said about the whole deal thing, but that's not exactly how all these exclusive works. Like, not like the Tales games are all, for example, or kind of some of they've been mostly on PS4. Not like they're deals. Not every game that's exclusive to a thing is necessarily a deal.
No, and this would be a super weird deal because all the spin-offs go. Like, if it's a deal, there's a deal
what
just
I
for the
think,
main line.
what I actually think it is, and I remember sometimes Japanese companies are weird. Atlas is doing a weird thing where, they're just going to keep Persona PlayStation and Shin Megami Tensei Nintendo for the main parts of it.
That is weird.
Do
they not like money, Jeff?
Strangely enough, Darby, that makes more sense in my mind for this company than the whole it being like there's actually an exclusive deal to PlayStation.
In a way, yeah, I agree. I mean, there are a lot of decisions by like Square Enix Japan and Sega and Atlas and everything that just seem to kind of go against logic sometimes.
Plus, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like if there was a thing, we would have seen more Persona stuff at PlayStation things. Like marketing deals, if that was the case.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really remember back to when Persona 5 was coming out, but
yeah. So,
but I mean, then again, there are. Well, I mean, I guess those maybe aren't. Again, there's not a deal, but like I feel like there's multiple Japanese like JRPG series that are like, whether through deals or not, are exclusive.
No, I agree. That's from a money standpoint and power standpoint. Persona doesn't fit into this necessarily, where it would make money and power-wise, it's fine. It's a PS3 game.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't buy anything. Yeah,
that's why I'm getting. I think it's just Atlas/Sega, more so Atlas being weird than an exclusive deal.
Yeah, it's just bizarre to be putting things like, you're not against putting Persona stuff on Nintendo platforms. You just won't put the actual game, the game that people want. You'll put a new game, a new weird spinoff. Mm-hmm. Like, they'll bring the dancing games over too, and then they'll just be everything but Persona 5.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
Yep.
Like I didn't completely expect this to be the Switch, but I was hoping it would at least be like a fighting game or something that I would want to play.
Well, good news is, I still think that fighting game's coming regardless of
probably.
Because Persona 4 Arena seemed to do done well.
Yeah, probably. So. Well, I'll just have to skip the Scramble. I do appreciate the people making the jokes that should have won Persona 5 over easy. That they would have preferred that. Sunny side up.
Okay, Darby, this is related to what we saw today.
It is.
This comes from Matt Persler from IGN. Epic Games has announced Fortnite in-game, the Avengers crossover event that launches today. So it's out now.
Today.
After days of teasing, a new trailer shows Thanos and his army of Chitauri walking across the Fortnite map before a team of Fortnite characters turn up and take out one of the Titans troops with Captain America's shield. The squad can be seen wielding Hawkeye's bow, 4 Stormbreaker axe, and Iron Man's repulsor gauntlets. The update's patch notes describes the event as a fight against Thanos and his army, who are trekking down the 6 Infinity Stones. Players are divided into 2 teams, Team Thanos and Team Heroes, and the mode supports respawning until specific conditions are met. Teams playing on the side of the Titan all start as Chitauri warriors, and the first player to claim an Infinity Stone is transformed to Thanos. When all 6 Infinity Stones are found, the hero team will be unable to respawn, allowing Team Thanos to track down and eliminate the remaining heroes. Each Infinity Stone acts as a significant buff, enhancing Thanos' power and providing additional help for Chitauri players.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like a cool thing.
Yeah.
Cool event.
People were wondering, is this going to be another deal after the Thanos thing last year? And like, yeah.
Even in this one's even more involved.
Yep. Like, how can we top Thanos? Just give all the players, Avengers weapons.
And put the whole army in there and stuff like that.
Yeah, and just all the Infinity Stones just throughout a map.
That's really cool. I mean, it's a super, super cool event.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool that Fortnite is that big. It's big enough to have these like gigantic Marvel modes, which I mean makes sense on both sides. No one loses in that situation. Fortnite and Marvel both get a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
I wonder. Never mind.
What? Oh, okay.
Never mind. But yeah, this seems cool.
Be wary, Darby.
Seems super cool. Super, super cool.
Yep. Which I heard some people say something about Fortnite, people being disappointed with Fortnite recently or something, so I guess it's good to keep people interested. I don't know. Yeah. Game of Service people are seem weird and willing to jump off at any time.
I mean, I think Fortnite is one of those things that you could see people say that any time, and there's still millions and millions and millions of people who are playing it. Because like my little cousin who's like 12 is playing it. You're not talking to 12-year-olds or 11-year-olds who are the ones that are keeping Fortnite a juggernaut. I mean, they're gonna keep playing it until, I mean, not forever, but I think Fortnite's gonna still be as big as it is for a while now.
Till Fortcraft comes out.
But and it's just because they keep doing these crazy events every week, and that's the one thing that Apex, like the people like Respawn has talked about, how like they can't keep up with Fortnite is adding new things like every single week. It's like Apex can't keep that at that same pace as that they do, and that's one of the things that Epic is able to throw so much money and manpower that it's honestly, even if you get another game to have a surge of popularity, it's hard to keep up with Fortnite because they're just making stuff at a breakneck pace that, if you read that article this week, is apparently not doing so great for the health of people at Epic. There's lots of crunch things. Huge surprise, I know, in the video game industry, a popular game is killing its workers to get made. It's really surprising, though, Yeah, I don't know. But Fortnite's cool, just don't kill people to make it. Preferably.
It's all worth it in the end, Darby, right? No. This comes from Colin Stevens from IGN. Independent developer Chameleon Games, filled with veterans of Rare's golden era of game development, is announcing Tamarian, a third-person action-adventure game featuring an agile monkey set in Nordic scenery. Tamarian is scheduled for release on PS4 and PC this summer and channels the energy of 3D platformer classics and explorative Metroidvania shooters. The game revolves around pollution and destruction from ever-expanding insects that forces the monkey to fight for his family's survival. Described as an interconnected 3D world with primate platforming and bug-splattering shooter action, Tamarian lets players journey into northern wilderness through forests, fjords, and mountains, Players will encounter mysterious electrical fireflies, a secret underground world of dancing ants, innocent birds that need rescuing, and more in an attempt to restore the Tamarian's once idyllic natural habitat. Tamarian is directed by Omar Sari, who is leading an all-star cast from the Rare's golden era to help execute his creative vision for Tamarian and recapture the style and magical experience they were famous for. Tamarian is like I said, PS4 via the PlayStation Store and PC via Steam for $30 with a deluxe edition including the game soundtrack made by David Wise for $40.
Looks cute.
Yeah,
and I actually hadn't seen this. No, the environments look really good.
Mm-hmm.
And the little monkey looks adorable. So.
Hey, I hear Golden Age Rare 3D platform. Like, you got my attention at the very least.
I definitely agree. Yeah. I mean, this is probably a little bit closer to your Banjo. You're just getting a rare 3D platform.
The monkey has a gun.
Oh God, he has a gun.
So yeah, the fact that it's coming out this summer and actually is going to be like $30, like.
Yeah, I
mean, I'm interested. I mean, I'm gonna wait for reviews for this. But
yeah,
I will keep my eye on it.
I hope it doesn't, being an indie studio and stuff. I hope it doesn't end up feeling like Ukulele almost, where it's like mechanically it's not quite there. Because smaller team, probably smaller budget.
Crazy is it's coming out this summer. It's just announced.
Yeah, they held on to that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm with you. They have my attention.
Cool. Yep. Well, we will talk more about Tamarian probably in the future.
Tamarian.
Tam. Darby, you want to talk about some E3?
Jeff, it's so close, kind of. I mean, it's pretty close at this point. It's like 5 weeks away or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's not very far.
Nope. Darby, we got a new press conference announcement.
We have the Sony replacement.
Yes, the Sony replacement. Square Enix announced they're going to have an E3 press conference, which seems to be an actual conference, and it is going to be on Monday, June 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern. And I added, show Avengers and/or Final Fantasy VII, you cowards. Darby, we said this last year. They have to show it.
They don't have to do shit, Jeff.
They have to. They got to show one of them.
Jeff, they have proven that they don't have, just because all logic points to something does not mean they have to.
Logic points even more towards that now.
I understand that, but they do not have to. They had the balls to do a press conference last year when they had nothing.
Yeah, but now they have less than nothing. They don't have Kingdom Hearts, Tomb Raider, Just Cause, Octopath Traveler, Quiet Man.
I know.
They don't have any of that shit now.
Jeff, they could come out here and look at some weird DLC for Just Cause 4 for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree that it makes, taking the Sony spot, having a press conference at all when, like you said, there's nothing obvious for them to show. It screams that Avengers and or Final Fantasy VII should be there. I refuse to get hyped, though.
Well, one thing to get hyped for, Darby, is Kingdom Hearts DLC.
These are the type of announcements that are going to be there.
But Darby, you may not know this exists or you forgot. The day before this, there is a Final Fantasy concert.
I've heard people talk about it, yeah.
Right around there.
Yeah.
At E3, Darby.
Is it like location?
I think so.
Is it in LA?
That's what happened when they blew out Kingdom Hearts thing. They had a Kingdom Hearts concert there right before E3. And also for argument for Avengers, I mean, we could argue reasons why these should be, announced anyway, but that for Final Fantasy VII has been a long time, blah, blah, blah. 4 years since it got freaking announced.
2015, and we haven't seen anything since 2015, right? It was PSX that same year, so it's been.
I think we got a picture of Sephiroth or some shit. But
here's a cactar.
Yeah. For Avengers, in games just and it's a peak hype level and all that kind of stuff. Now is the time to announce it.
That was 2017.
2017, early 2017.
I mean, so what are you expecting? What is your prediction with both? Are you expecting both of them? Just one?
Let me say both. At least one.
Or which one? What do you think is more likely?
Because
I mean, 7 did have the weird stuff about being almost restarted at some point, and it had Nomura was the director on it, even though he was also the director on Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, probably Avengers. Just from
Avengers,
a timing standpoint and just everything. And
which is weird because, probably 7 we saw 2 years before we saw our Avengers tease, but.
Mm-hmm. But imagine if they did blowouts on both those. Then, okay, Square Enix, you win.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's an instant win. Like, the presentation could be terrible. The rest of their stuff they show could be terrible. But if they show those 2 games, you have my attention. It's as long as those 2 games are good.
Yeah, of course.
And we still know next to nothing about Avengers. We just know we like Crystal Dynamics and we like Avengers. That's basically all we're going off of right now. Yeah. And I do think an Avengers game would be a hard thing to do. Yeah. Because, I feel like you have to play it as more than one person, and if you're gonna play as more than one character, I imagine you're playing with at least 3 or 4, and that's a lot of different stuff to do. Especially if this is a story focused game, you have to make everyone feel nice, And we're just assuming it's a story focused game. We really don't even know. This could be some weird online multiplayer game that we're not interested in. We just don't know.
We just don't know.
I hope it's. I mean, you think Crystal Dynamics, you think. Story. It's a third-person story, but
it's okay, Darby. We'll get Quiet Woman, and everything will be okay.
Oh boy!
And I guess we'll see Babylon's Fall. Could be interesting.
Maybe. I don't know. What do you think about? Do you think them? Should we be reading anything into them taking Sony's spot, or do you think that's just something it's open? I guess we'll take it.
I feel like maybe we should look more into is the fact. Unless I'm really forgetting, they said it wasn't going to be a video like last year, and it's they're actually going to be a regular kind of presentation. Probably tells us more than the time.
Probably. I didn't know that. I didn't know that part of it.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, then probably in Avengers. At least Avengers media look. Then,
they gotta have freaking one of them, or at the very least something else that maybe not there that completely blows our mind.
That almost makes if it's a live event. I wonder if. I don't know, because this almost I was expecting the video thing, so this almost just seemed like a.
I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure no
one took the Sony spot, so I guess we'll just upload our video then, But if it's a live thing, there's a lot more preparation that goes into that. Mm-hmm. So if that's the case, then this has probably been planned for a long time to go in that spot, and they just didn't say anything. I hope. All right.
Yep.
Well, apparently Greg was planning on doing the Kind of Funny Game showcase then, because he said that they took our spot, which I think is probably a good thing for the games being shown there. Cause I don't think Monday night would have been a good time for all the indie games they're showing at that thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this might be just a quick thing. Just keeping on that. E3 Hype Train, another little conference. Upload VR will have a VR showcase during E3 on June 10th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So, yeah, they talked to. I can't remember the guy's name.
Yeah, I forgot his name too. I can try to look.
Yeah. One of the writers, or the main guy there, was on Kind of Funny Games Daily. I don't think it was announced there, but he talked about it briefly there. And was saying that they were kind of inspired by
David Jagnew. I know Greg mispronounced his name too.
Yeah,
David Jagnew. It's cool. It has the the LSU does the go with G, GEAUX. Mm-hmm. This is NEAUX. This stuff always. I never know how to pronounce it. Anyway, go ahead.
Said on there he was kind of inspired by kind of, the Kind of Funny Game showcase. We can do that for VR titles. So they're gonna do that.
Yeah.
It seems to sound like it might be a little more focused on the PC side of things, which are fine since PSVR is obviously the main spotlight, but it looks like they will be PSVR titles, and it will be a video kind of style like a direct or the Kind of Funny Games showcase and that kind of stuff.
Way more manageable thing to do.
Yep. But,
sounds like a cool little thing to me.
And I will watch it. I don't think we're going to do reactions for it, but we will watch it.
Yeah, probably
and probably discuss at least some of it later.
Yeah. That could be a cool thing. I think that's awesome.
Yep. Okay, next thing. This is the quick little announcement since E3's hard to keep track of, so we'll do little stuff like this. According to the Techland Games Twitter account, Dying Light 2 will be showing off at E3. Probably during Microsoft's conference. And that's where it was announced at.
Yep. It was announced last year. And they showed it. I mean, there was a good bit last year, so I wouldn't be surprised if this game is not too terribly far away, or at least we see a decent amount here. Like I remember they did the whole like, they showed like in the daytime and nighttime and stuff and all that there. You know, the game looked cool. No, we'll see. Confirmation. Man, I am so excited for Cyberpunk to see Cyberpunk at E3, man. I think about that game a lot. You can go ahead and write your timestamp. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Cyberpunk. But man, the Cyberpunk hype, man.
Cyberpunk hype. Real. Okay, we got our release date, Darby, for Super Mario Maker 2.
Super Mario Brothers 2.
It launches on June 28th, so very end of the month, they said. Not during the week of E3 like it was apparently leaked.
Leakers are wrong.
Leakers were wrong. That damn web store thing.
Damn it.
Gosh damn it. So yeah.
What do you think about June 28th?
I think it's fine.
I mean, it's just, I don't think it's any different than if it was in any other time in June.
Yeah, the only thing is Nintendo's scheduling their games releases is weird because, you know, it's been kind of light as far as their content for these, you know, the first pretty much 6 months until Mario Maker, and then like right after that, maybe 2 weeks after Mario Maker, like Dragon Quest Builders 2, which they are publishing, and then after that it's Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and then the week after that's Fire Emblem. Yeah, those are all published by Nintendo.
A little bunch together, especially if the next few months after that are light again. It's almost like
I mean they look pretty busy, but yeah, it just won't be as scrunched up as that.
What do we have in the like August through October time?
August we got Astral Chain, and then during the September on, we just got the mixture of Zelda, Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion, and Pokemon.
Link's Away. Did you say Link's Away?
I think I said Zelda.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But Zelda, Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion, Pokemon for those last couple.
Yeah, I guess.
And probably another 1 or 2 things that haven't been announced yet.
Yeah. This was probably like, some of that is probably, a little bit of that is out of their hands, probably like the Marvel thing. Like yeah, they're publishing and stuff, but that was probably just like, the game's done when it's done. It happened to be done then, and it's like, you know, I don't know. But it is kind of a bummer. Like, none of these games probably could have been earlier, and that would have been the better thing.
I think part of this happening is that Fire Emblem got delayed.
Yeah, I think Fire Emblem was meant to be out by now, or meant to come out in April, probably.
Yeah, April, if not May, or something.
Yeah. So, which they did. They just said spring, but yeah, it was probably they said it was delayed. So that's definitely the biggest thing that kind of interrupted their plans. Yep, is we should be playing Fire Emblem right now.
Exactly, Darby. But I'm excited for Mario Maker. There's actually some leaks, well, not really leaked, but some ads from Japan which have a couple new details on it. Like you can have Cat Bowser,
and there's already a 3-hour game explain video on.
Yep, and our cool like fire dragon enemies from 3D World can be placed in levels, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So hype. Okay, Darby.
I wish that game was a little bit closer. I wish that was a mid game.
Yeah. Okay, Darby. Ready for extended version of sales time?
Sales time.
Okay, Darby. You know, the end of March is the end of the fiscal year for a lot of companies. So,
yeah, did Nerds at Large have a good quarter, Jeff? What was our annual earnings?
Negative.
Are stockholders happy?
Negative 420. Probably. Blaze it.
I mean, are you happy, Jeff?
Of course.
Then there you go. You are the stockholders. The Switch.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna talk about Nintendo's first, and there's gonna be some maybe news non-related to sales technically in some of this stuff, but we can say when it comes.
Non-sales in my sales time.
Okay, so yeah, we'll do bullet points and talk about stuff as they come. The Switch has now sold 34.74 million, and yeah, like all this fiscal year stuff, this is all by March 31st. Is the end. So nothing from April. Right. So now the Switch has surpassed the N64's lifetime sales. Your next SNES.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, yeah. I was trying to think where they were. Like
they sold about 17 million for this during the first fiscal year.
Okay.
This fiscal year.
Okay. So. I was just trying to think in relation to their like expectation for 20 million. I was trying to think like when they hit that, but yeah, whatever. 34 is still a lot.
Yeah. Nintendo predicts 18 million more sold in this upcoming fiscal year, which things are looking pretty good as far as
They have bumped that down just a tad.
Yeah.
From their predictions.
Yeah, they have some momentum, and they got some big games coming out this year, so we'll see how that goes. And now we got the top 10 best-selling games on the Switch, and then like one more at the end. Okay. Top selling Switch game, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, 16.69 million.
Nice. But
yeah,
that's a lot.
That is a lot. It just kept on. It keeps on selling, Darby.
I think it never stopped.
Yeah, I'll say what I'm about to say when we get to the other game. Super Mario Odyssey, still at number 2 with 14.44 million.
Yeah, I'm a little. Well, yeah, we'll get to it, but I mean, it's about to pass about.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Number 3, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, 13.81 million. So yeah, it'll probably surpass Odyssey.
It's about to surpass Odyssey, and it's been out for half a year.
What was interesting, if I remember and I saw correctly, Ultimate and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe during this last quarter sold similar amounts.
So it's Mario Kart is just a monster.
Yeah, pretty much. Number 4, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, 12.77 million.
Which is, especially for a Zelda game, which don't sell as much as you'd think. You think?
Yeah, it's the best-selling Zelda game now.
Yeah, probably by a fair amount, I would think. Yeah.
Yeah. Next one, number 5, grouped together, Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee at 10.63 million. The this quarter sales for this game, not good. It was already 10 million at the end of last quarter.
So that was mostly just a launch, and then it's kind of petered out now.
Pretty much. So.
Interesting. So did not quite do what everyone expected it to do.
So yeah, it's a good bit lower than all the other Pokemon games, which I know it's on hardware that has a lot less units out there. Yeah. But you have all these other series breaking records.
And that are still months afterwards still selling at a high clip, whereas this one seems to have kind of faded away. Maybe there were more people like you than we thought that. Yeah,
I can see maybe a little bit when Detective Pikachu comes out.
Yeah,
I mean for kids.
Yeah.
Do the hype,
but definitely not to get it to where.
No.
Like Nintendo was probably projecting. It's like I think it's that ship has sailed. Yeah.
Number 6, Splatoon 2, 8.7 million.
I guess one question with the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, do you think does this change any bit your thoughts that Sun and Sword and Shield would sell a lot? Do you think Sword and Shield are going to sell what we think they are, or do you think do you think Let's Go shows at all that we should be worried?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, there are plenty of people like me.
Yeah, sorry. Splatoon 2, 8.7.
Yep. Super Mario Party, 6.4 million. Not bad.
Very respectable for Mario Party.
Oh no, that's great, especially since
really
I like Mario Party and everything. But it is not the Oops, I forgot.
It's not Mario Kart.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot the time code for this.
That's okay. I can figure that one out.
But what I was saying is, I like this Mario Party, but you can tell it doesn't have the biggest budget.
No,
they made some bank off this game.
Oh yeah.
So now, kind of interesting. The first new one from this quarter on this list: New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, 3.31 million after 2.5 months. The Wii U version sold 5.79 million, and this is why they do those Wii U ports.
Because the 2D Marios always just kind of inexplicably sell a bunch, and that's what I have not seen a soul talk about this game on Switch. Maybe the first week it came out, but after that, I have not seen anyone.
No, I feel like the most I've heard is influencers and YouTubers play it because they get the codes or whatever, and just messing around with it, whether just for a video or just why the hell not.
But not much. But they just sell.
1-2 Switch, 2.97 million, just hanging on that top 10.
Too much.
Mario 10 and the Aces at the end of the top 10, 2.64 million. Kind of dropped off a lot where it's not really selling that much, but still good numbers for that game. And I put this game in here because it's brand new. So Yoshi's Crafted World, after not long, actually just a couple of days, I think, 1.1 million.
Oh, you crossed the million,
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
If it keeps any pace like that, then that'll be good.
Some other news. At E3, Nintendo will do a video presentation like they have been. They didn't announce the date, they just said they're doing a video presentation.
We assume it'll be that Tuesday like it always is.
Yeah, no reason to believe otherwise. Nintendo said they will not announce any new hardware at E3 this year.
I'm kind of glad that news is just out there.
Yeah.
So we just know what to expect.
Now, but they said specifically at E3.
Oh, yeah, those new SKUs are going to be announced this year, just not at E3. Now, they might be announced before E3.
Let's get to that. This is from Matt Purslow from IGN. A new report indicates that Nintendo will launch a new, cheaper version of Nintendo Switch by the end of June, with a modest upgrade to the existing model allegedly coming later this year. In a financial report by Bloomberg, a small excerpt suggests the cheaper Switch model is coming very soon. An outright more powerful version is allegedly not in the works, though details on this claim are sparse. Whether this alludes to a PS4 Pro, Xbox One X-like hardware boost, or simply a series of hardware redesigns akin to the DS Lite remains to be seen. The report is based on claims from 2 unnamed sources. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. That people caught on really quickly. Like, it's just said at E3. Yeah, that could mean either still coming up. Yeah, it makes sense to be announced before E3 if the one of them is coming out by the end of June. My thinking is it's just going to end up coming out the same day as Mario Maker. At the end of June.
yeah. So this report's saying that this is the only new Switch SKU is the...
We're getting one in June, which is going to be the kind of handheld model.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get the beefed up one, which apparently is not going to be as beefed up as you would hope at the end of the year. So we're still getting 2 different SKUs. They're just coming at different times.
Okay. I just saw that an outright more powerful version allegedly not in the works.
It's... Yeah, the difference is because the original thing says like a modest upgrade, so it's going to be small, like 3DS to new 3DS, and not PS4 to PS4 Pro or Xbox One to Xbox One X type upgrade. So that's just kind of what that is saying.
Gotcha.
So,
okay,
yeah,
okay. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not much to say until they really announce
how much. Like, so are we assuming that this like the smaller one is going to like they just give you like it's just a handheld Switch? Do you think it will be able to go into a dock if you have a dock? It'll just be sold without it.
Yeah, I think.
Or do you think it'll really just be handheld only and you can't do anything else with it?
If Nintendo wants to be, like, for a better word, scummy about it, they can make it so it can't do dock. But the way you put in the dock is you pretty much connect it using what you put in the power cord in.
It's basically just a big HDMI block.
Yes. So I think what they might do for the sake of making it cheaper is yes, don't do the dock and do attach Joy-Cons, make it a solid. Don't have detachable Joy-Cons, just have it on there. That's what a bunch of people are talking about. And I guess there needs to make sense the way to cut costs. And if you want to play it on a dock and get that, or play on someone else's dock, you have other controllers.
You have to have additional Joy-Cons, but those just never come off.
Yeah, that's just me spitballing. They could still do the whole. I feel like the whole thing of them just releasing thing without a dock. I don't know. The way people talk to me, it sounds like it's more than just a Switch without a dock.
Yeah, because that doesn't seem like I wouldn't even imagine that cutting the cost that much. I really don't know how much just the dock would be.
Yeah, and people, as far as the handheld thing, want it to be smaller, and that will not work if Joy-Cons can work.
And people have talked about having a Switch that's more durable for kids to have and drop and damage and stuff. Like the 3DS, I could probably kick across the driveway and it would still be fine because of its whole clamshell, everything. The Switch would break. I mean, I do that's one of the only things that. None of this excites me personally.
Oh, no, I'm not getting this stuff.
No. But that's one of the few things that I can kind of see is it's more even if it does still go in the dock, it's more hefty. Like you said, everything's attached. There's no little pieces that can do whatever. It's just kind of a bulky, probably ugly. Just like the 3DS. the DS is ugly. The DS is ugly. And I could see the Switch kind of having that plasticky feel and being more of a kid-friendly device potentially. Because right now, I could hand my little kid my 3DS and feel fine. I would not hand them my Switch whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay. Well, PlayStation or Nintendo's doing well. The games are selling well. No surprise there. Oh yeah, and I believe Smash is now officially the best-selling fighting game ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Unless you count the Smash 4 Wii U and 3DS thing, which they're pretty different. So,
just all time, even Street Fighter 2 with all of its re-releases 10,000 times.
That might be an asterisk thing, but it's not a single SKU. It's definitely the most.
For a single SKU, I could get it. I would be interested to see how.
To be fair, if Monster Hunter World is the Capcom's best-selling game and Smash is more than that, then Capcom doesn't even count that.
No.
I mean,
Which that was already surprising in news when it crossed 7 million. It became like the best-selling game.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna talk about a little PlayStation news, not as much as Nintendo because not everyone likes to give out as much information as Nintendo. It makes
God bless Nintendo for that. I love that. There's like, here's everything. Here is all of our sales.
You unfortunately don't get as much updates as far as older games, depending on the circumstance. But yeah,
at least
get
like
something.
Yeah.
Okay, so PlayStation has shipped 96.8 million units. That's a lot. Gaming revenue is up by 18.9% year over year. That is
a lot. That is a ton. That is a huge increase.
Now, kind of really important news that you'll find interesting. Sony has said that PS5 will not ship this upcoming fiscal year. Now, maybe like some people may be like, oh, that's obvious. They said that during the PS5 reveal thing.
They just said 2019.
They said 2019 fiscal year, and people thought this could happen. Not too many people were beholden to it or anything, or like this is going to happen. So, it could come out in like March, like the Switch did. This is pretty much saying, nope, it's not coming out in March. So odds are it is coming out in the November-ish time frame. Yeah. In the fall of 2020.
This might have been after this happened, but I was listening to Kotaku Split Screen, and Jason Schreier just like very casually said, like, and the PS5 will be coming out in fall of 2020.
That's not a surprise.
It's not
whatsoever, especially since
that's what I was
we talked before. We still got Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and Death Stranding from 2 release, and it's questionable if we'll get any of those this year. So
yeah.
So none of that surprising. Sony is continuing.
Do you think the Switch will ever sell 96.8 million units?
I think it's possible. I mean, pacing wise, it's keeping up as I've seen PS4, so it's possible.
Definitely is. I think it's possible as well.
And then we got a little Microsoft news as well. It's kind of the same thing. That we just got this news from the general Microsoft as a whole thing, which Microsoft as a whole company is doing really well. But let's talk about the gaming part. Xbox gaming revenue is up 5%, and Microsoft said this was due to software and services, specifically third-party monetization and subscription growth. This helps offset the hardware decline.
Yeah, obviously subscription growth.
Yeah, subscription growth, but it didn't say exactly what, but you can assume hopefully Game Pass helped, and that's doing well for them. Yeah. I assume that every time they announce a kind of decently big games, like there are more people like, okay, Xbox, I'll get Game Pass.
That's just gonna be the next few years, just slowly all right, fine, until you have millions and millions of people.
Yep,
which is cool.
Yep. So it seems everyone's doing pretty well and on the up and up. So that's as far as the hardware people. So that's always good news.
Gaming is in a pretty good place, Jeffrey.
Yep. So Darby, these financial reports aren't all we got as far as sales.
You mean there's more sales time, Jeff?
There's more sales time.
Train keeps on rolling. Chug a chug chug.
Cha-ching, motherfuckers. So NPDs are out. It's that time of the month. So let's get into it. Okay. As usual, we'll start out with the top 10 plus.
Top 10 plus.
I got the top 10. I got a couple other ones I found interesting. Number 1, Tom Clancy's The Division 2 with no PC digital sales. I don't think that's surprising. The Division 2 is number 1. But launch month sales of The Division 2 are the 6th highest in history for Ubisoft published game.
Woo-wee. And no, Jeff, it should never be a surprise. Ubisoft always has the top selling game of the year for the first at least half of the year.
Yeah. Number 2, which could be a little more surprising, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, no PC digital. This is the 2nd highest launch month sales for a FromSoft game, trailing only Dark Souls 3, which released in the April 2016 tracking period.
So
Sekiro selling pretty well. What was it, 2 million when we talked about a week or two ago?
Yeah, I think it was something like that. And Dark Souls 3 always sold more than I thought it did. So
yeah.
Makes sense. But
so that is good news.
Very good, especially since it didn't have a name that people recognize. But we are at the point now where people are familiar enough with gaming to know studios. Yeah. It used to be the fact that the same company could release a new game and people didn't even know. But now, I think even average gamers know FromSoft. They know
Yeah. Number 3, and something that kind of, for some reason, surprised people but made them mad. MLB 19 The Show. Launch month sales of MLB 19 The Show are the highest in franchise history, and also set a new all-time high for a baseball genre game. People were surprised how much this game sells. Some people were upset about it.
Why?
I don't know. Sports game? I don't know. And people were surprised that because no one talks about it or something or whatever. And PlayStation exclusive.
I mean, I've always heard that the MLB The Show games sell a lot, and that people really like them. So,
I've heard that too, but still, some people are surprised about it.
Weird. Are they surprised, but like mad that the game? I don't know. That's weird. Mad that a game sold well.
People are weird, Darby. It's the internet. So yeah, heard good things about this game, and it's one of those things. It's a Sony like exclusive or whatever, but
you just don't think about it.
They don't market it like it does. It seems like all the time.
I mean, it's also one of those things. It's not being marketed to us, and our people don't talk about it. You know, in other circles, I'm sure that's
I guess
thing.
Mainly,
and it's probably being marketed on baseball games that neither of us really watch. I mean, you more than me,
true.
But it's not being advertised on IGN and other places like that as much. It's being advertised on ESPN and.
Number 4, Devil May Cry 5, the second highest launch month sales in franchise history, trailing only the February 2008 debut of Devil May Cry 4.
Yeah. I didn't expect it to be trailing 4. To be honest, I thought it would be the highest in franchise
what I was expecting. Capcom's like, we gotta execute, you guys.
It didn't exceed the record. You're dead.
Yep. It's not the best-selling game in Capcom history.
You're dead.
You're dead.
We're gonna fire every developer until they pass Monster Hunter World.
Yep. Number 5, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, no digital. So yeah,
Joker hype.
Smash Bros. Is doing good. Number 6, Red Dead Redemption 2. Number 7, NBA 2K19. Number 8, Grand Theft Auto 5 is making its way back up.
Red Dead 2 didn't replace GTA on the list. They just both exist on it.
Yep. Number 9, lower than I thought, to be honest, Yoshi's Crafted World, no digital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it sold 1.1 million. I mean, it's not counting digital.
But. Yeah. And that's not U.S. only sales.
Right, yeah. So it's a fraction of a fraction, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the, well, no. Never mind. I was going to say, it came out a couple of days before March ended, but the tracking for the month went into at least a couple of days into April.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily it ends at the end of the start of the month. It kind of goes into each month a couple of days. Number 11, pretty big drop, which I was very curious to see how this would do. 11, Anthem.
Did you say number 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 4?
Number 10, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. No
11.
PC digital. Call of Duty still selling.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, this has to be way, 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 way under what EA was hoping for with Anthem. Yeah. I mean, like, I think it sold very well in that first launch month, so its overall sales still might not be that bad, but I have a feeling, like, if next month is not substantially better, which I don't really expect it to be, I think this game is definitely going to be looked on as a huge underperformance.
Yep.
Because they were advertising that game. And very, very.
I've just put a lot of money into it and all that, especially with the trouble development and how long it's took and all that kind of fun stuff. And I didn't look much into it because honestly, I don't really care that much as far as what it was doing. but from what I've saw, they announced a patch thing that will fix some things. But part of me, as an outsider, is like, this sounds too little, too late.
Yeah, some of it's. In some ways, the ship has sailed. I mean, I think there will be a dedicated Anthem fan base, and there will be those articles like in a year, like, oh, it's really good now, but I don't think it's ever going to reach what EA was like treating this game like.
Yeah.
And honestly, it might never get to the point where it's fixed because like BioWare might be taken off of this game, if it's not what they thought it was going to be, or like they're at least not going to feel like they can justify putting a big team on working on Anthem if it's just not returning. It's money.
And going down to number 13, a drop, but not as big of a drop as I thought. Jump Force.
That is, we still are saying it at all.
Yep. I thought, hey, it's hanging on, and still people are buying it.
I'll be 100% honest with you, Jeff. I completely forgot about Jump Force at all until you just said that. I think the last time I just recognized that Jump Force existence was like 3 weeks ago.
Okay, time to talk about the top 10 selling games of the year so far. Number 1, Kingdom Hearts 3, baby.
Hey!
The best-selling game in the franchise history of lifetime sales, now exceeding those of the previous best in the franchise, Kingdom Hearts. Best-selling game. And you know what the fun fact is? It's still number 1, even though it wasn't in the top 20 for the month.
Yeah, I was about to say, enjoy your month because the Division 2 is coming for you.
I'm surprised Anthem didn't jump it, but...
yeah, I am too, but that's... Hey!
Yeah. Number 2, Tom Clancy Division 2, and it will be at number 1, and it will probably stay there for a while unless Mortal Kombat exceeds it.
Yeah.
That is the only one I can see in a while.
Yeah. If that doesn't do it, then it probably won't be until the inevitable Call of Duty comes out in October.
Yep. Number 3, Anthem. This is no PC digital sales for the Division and Anthem. Number 4, Resident Evil 2.
Hey.
Yeah. Number 5, Red Dead Redemption 2.
And Red Dead will pass Resident Evil 2 as well.
Probably. Number 6, Jump Force, baby.
That's not staying there, but good for it. Yeah.
Number 7, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Kind of surprised that's below Jump Force.
I am very surprised. Every time you read one of those, I look at the one under it, and I'm like, yep, that one's going to eat it. Yep, that one's going to eat it. And like, yeah.
Number 8, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Not that one. Smash is going to beat it, but yeah. But yeah, anyway. I'll
Number 9, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. It'll probably just stick around on here until about the top 10, until about the next Call of Duty comes out.
Yeah.
Number 10, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. No digital sales. That's obviously going to be gone because it's a number 10, but dang.
Crazy.
Yep. And as far as hardware news, Switch was the best-selling system of March, as well as the best-selling system for the first quarter in both dollars and units. So Switch is on the up and up. The other systems, understandably, are on the kind of decline.
Yeah, because we're
getting
towards the end of the generation.
But
I would be a little concerned if the Switch wasn't the best-selling console for most months.
Yeah, but even taking just looking at the numbers, it's doing really well. It's surpassing things, especially since this last quarter has not been the best as far as game releases.
Yeah.
We're going to ramp up starting in June.
Yeah. And then probably...
especially with the new hardware revisions.
And then this fall when a real Pokemon game's coming out.
Yep. Okay, well, that's it, Darby. I know we wanted a shorter one, but I don't know if... we mentioned potentially talking about this. Do you want to talk about the whole Days Gone thing?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm probably okay to just go eat... we can briefly talk about it. So, Days Gone, we're just going to briefly talk about, just give our, rough, I don't know, opinion. It's not much of a take, but just our opinion on Days Gone. To be clear, we have not played Days Gone. Don't have any plans to play Days Gone, but...
it's just kind of interesting.
It is interesting, yeah. Obviously, Days Gone has been, been one of the big first-party titles that Sony has been advertising for the last 3 E3s or something like that.
Yeah. It was announced in 2016, along with God of War and Spider-Man.
Yeah, this is kind of the last of that group, or not the last, but it's like
Death Stranding was technically announced then, but
yeah, right. It's the next of that big group that started with God of War and Spider-Man and stuff. And I think the biggest interesting thing is I feel like this kind of is seeming like it's Sony's first misstep in a while. Mm-hmm. Not that everything coming out about Days Gone, it's got a 7.5 Metacritic around ish, 7 or 7.5. It might be closer to 7 than 7.5.
Last I looked, I think it was closer to a 7.
Yeah, something like that. So it definitely seems like it's not a bad game, but it's also not a good game. It's just kind of way too long, padded, lots of technical issues that I've seen, the chugginess and everyone's thing.
Story not hitting for a lot of people as much as you would want it to / the developers probably hoping, or the way they were pushing it.
Yeah. So I guess there's two things I kind of want to talk about. Number one, the thing that got me that I approached Jeff with it first was it just kind of interested me that there was a preview event a month or two ago or something like that where almost every influencer and personality that I saw come from that event were all super positive on the game, loved the little vertical slice they played, and then almost every single one of them once the game came out were said didn't like the game and everything, they had lots of complaints and everything. And I have seen criticism of how are you so positive on it before and not now. I definitely get it. You're getting just a very vertical slice. You don't really know how these things are going to pan out in the long run. And it's made me think. I don't have any takes. I'm just kind of thinking it definitely shows like there's a little bit of a flaw with the way that we do like game previews and stuff, because like I do feel like, especially with the games like Days Gone, it's very easy to give someone kind of a false look at a game.
Yeah, you know? give them the best chunk, or even I think this is what they did with Days Gone is, well, but they kind of started them in the beginning-ish, and then they skipped them to a later point. Yeah. So it's kind of like, hey, show them the beginning when, you know, everything's all fresh and new, and before things might get repetitive, like apparently things got in Days Gone. And then jump them to a point where, you know, they didn't have to do repetitive things to get to what you assume is a good chunk of the game.
Yeah, yeah. And you don't get one of the biggest complaints I saw about it was that it was just felt way too long and too padded. Mm-hmm. And you don't really get the sense that the game is too long if you're just playing a slice that, or you know, especially if you jumped around like that. Like, yeah, you don't know how long it takes to get those abilities.
Yeah, and I think it was Greg Miller talked about it some. I haven't, well, Game Pass is an episode, whatever. Talking about the progressive system was not good or felt rewarding or anything. Can't tell that from a preview.
Right. And I mean, I definitely get it. It's a hard position for those people to be in. And I mean, like, the answer is don't pre-order things because you just never know. But it kind of sucks that this industry also just incentivizes you to pre-order, whether us getting a better deal if we pre-order by doing Best Buy and stuff like that, or even Mortal Kombat. I don't normally pre-order stuff, even period, but I want Shao Kahn, so I'm doing that. I don't know. It's just I have no answer, no like thing to say here. It's just kind of a bummer.
Yeah,
I don't like pre-order code. Like I don't like giving people money before they have proved. Like I don't know what the product is, but they already have my money. I don't know. It's a little bit of a bummer, and it's something that I do, but I don't necessarily like it. And yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't have anything to say here. We can move on to what this means for Sony if you want, unless you have any.
As far as the pre-order thing, I do it all the time. I don't care. When I pre-order something, I'm usually confident. Obviously, that's bite me in the butt a couple times.
Yeah, it can.
More often than not, I know what I'm getting into.
Yeah, I just don't love the concept of someone having my money before they've proven anything to me. You know, like I don't know. It kind of sucks. But going forward, what do you think this means for Sony, if anything? Do you think it's that big of a deal that they had one misstep with this?
Here's the thing. It's from a review standpoint, didn't go as well. But Benji Sales on Twitter, who's knows what he's talking about, saying Days Gone numbers have done really well so far. Obviously, we don't know what those numbers exactly are, so we can't completely compare it to Horizon God of War yet. And we don't know if, what kind of legs it has, especially with these reviews. But, while critics may not like it as much, the general audience might like it more, or it just might sell regardless. Maybe even the general audience feels similar. Just enough people wanted to give it a try.
Which is that's definitely happened. I mean, there's been games that people don't like, but just too many people bought it.
Yeah, it could just have crazy first week and then just has like no legs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of these. It's hard for us to gauge how much outside of the gaming audience was grabbed by this. I mean, we even had our friend Olivia. Apparently, she was interested in buying this game, which I had no clue. I had no clue that she was interested. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, people outside of sometimes we can be kind of out of touch with people outside of the like.
That's one of those things.
Media.
She can buy what she wants, but it's someone who follows stuff like Olivia. You might like it, I guess. She probably
gets a 60-hour game as opposed
to you're probably getting Last of Us vibes off it, and that's probably why you want it.
But The Last of Us is like 12 hours.
Yeah, but what's thinking is we could recommend you plenty of better games.
Yeah,
even in a similar vein.
I would say go play Resident Evil 2, but she would be way too scared to play Resident Evil 2. Yeah. But what do you think? Like, if it does underperform and everything, I mean.
Yeah.
Is Sony doomed, Jeff?
I mean, no. I mean, the bigger question is what happens with Bend.
Yeah.
More than, I mean, obviously Sony's fine. You heard those percentages I gave.
Sony is obviously fine.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of the reverse of Guerrilla with Horizon, because like Guerrilla was a studio that made good stuff, but had never made anything nearly as big as Horizon. That was their first.
Yeah, in a different
push.
genre.
Yeah, like a genre switch, and just like it was their most ambitious thing to date by far, and everything went great for them. It was critically really well received. Commercially did really well.
People are hyped for Horizon 2 whenever that is, which we know is coming.
Yeah, and I think they obviously probably got a bigger budget for their sequel everything went positive. This is kind of the reverse of that. Ben was in a very similar situation where they had done smaller things, and this was their first crack at something big. And then now it's like, does Ben get to make a second one of these?
Yeah. I can see potentially yes if if the general audience likes it more than any of the reviewers did. I mean, again, the reviews aren't terrible. But if it sells well enough, they might be like, Sony could be like, okay, take what you learned and do it. I mean, we got an act 2, so anything's possible.
And I even saw things like, obviously this is us reacting to other people's reactions, but like I think it was Alana even said, yeah, I don't like this game. This game is not that great. Days Gone 2 is probably going to be really good though. I mean, I think it might be one of those things where there's something here that if it's nurtured enough could be interesting. I mean, like I always like the setting, the Pacific Northwest, like setting like that is pretty cool. It's just
I wonder if it was telling. I think people pointed out, at E3 they did that whole week of announcements. Sony did these week of announcements leading up to E3.
Yeah,
when it mostly announced smaller VR games, and then they had the Days Gone release date.
Yeah,
I wonder if Sony kind of knew the potential reaction wasn't going to be as good, considering it wasn't lined up with the others, even though it's coming up. Maybe it came out in the same time frame as those. As far as Spider-Man was the one coming out like right after that, and Days Gone obviously after that, so it wasn't going to be a weird thing. Oh, this is about to come out, so whatever. No, so
yeah. I don't know. It's weird because like I said, going up to I could not get a read on Days Gone. I would be just as I wasn't surprised by the 7 and 7.5, and I also wouldn't have been surprised with 9.5, 9 and 9.5.
Yep.
Neither of those would have surprised me because it was just Days Gone was kind of this weird amorphous thing, like where like nothing I've seen from Days Gone interests me, but
nothing that we've seen screams. No, this is that's like a bad game,
and that's because it's not a bad or a great game. It's just it seems like it's just a game.
Yep, and like I said, the only way I was going to get if it completely blew reviews away at some point, and I liked what I was hearing in those reviews. Obviously, not I only play games that are so.
It's a 9.5. I'm getting it. Instant buy.
Yeah, but the problems that are there are ones like I'm not as interested, and there are too many games.
Too many games. Maybe in a different time.
Too many cooks.
Well, Jeffrey, thank you for joining me again.
Yep.
The special guest Jeff Mayo.
Oh yeah, man. I've been doing this. I've been on here a lot for a special guest.
I would like to see an episode where we have no special guests, because that's just me talking into a microphone for an hour. If you're a special guest, then wow. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Make sure to stay tuned for a in-game spoilercast at some point. No promises on when that will be, but I can promise you a Game of Thrones spoilercast with Chad and Holden from Respawn and Fire. That's over at Nerds at Large Spoilercast on your podcast feeds or on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Nerds at Large. Speaking of Game of Thrones, Jeff, let's prepare. Let's go get some food.
Yes, food.
Food is nice. All right.
Bye.